Hey, beautiful. I'm so happy to have you listening to this audio of something that I wanted to share that actually now is coming through, and I thought, why not externalize it? Because I really think that I'm not the only one, and maybe it can make you feel recognized, it can make you feel seen. So I'm sitting here again at the beach, and for me, these mornings at the beach and just looking at the sea, doing nothing, having overview, seeing the horizon, having perspective, in silence, nobody's here. This is my perfect environment, and it's in this environment that I get active. This is the mountains environment, and I have mountains inactive, so it means that I get active when I'm in my right environment, which means that there's an environment that's in low sound, that's my digestion. So what I actually wanted to talk about, not always, but I can go really deep when I'm in these mornings, and I can go really deep within memories of when I was a child, and I go back to them. Like, I couldn't even remember if I would be thinking about it, but I can just feel into it, and then I get these memories popping up again from all these different situations. And it's quite fascinating how it works, that I can get to those just by being here. And today something really wanted to come through, and it's about wanting to fit in. For me, I think I tried a lot of my times in my life to fit in. But every time if I wanted to fit in, I fall out. This already started at a young age for me. This was at primary school. I think I was about 8 or 9 years old. And I really felt that I was bullied back then. That I was bullied, that I was left out. That I wasn't part of the group. And the story is that one of the most popular girls, she was my best friend at that moment. And I wanted to be with her. But there were also 2 other girls that wanted to be with her, and they claimed her more than I did. And how I experienced that as a child was that I was left out. I was bullied. Bullied is a pretty intense word, because I wasn't really bullied in that they were really saying nasty things or that kind of things. But I was left out. I wasn't part of their group. And that really hurt. And now, as I'm older and I know about human design, I see how this was my bitterness, how I didn't feel recognized and I didn't feel seen. So actually I went back to that memory, and I thought, okay, if I was feeling bitter, it means I wasn't living my true self. I was in my not self. What could I have done better? What if I could have done differently to experience that different? And actually the first thing that came up for me was that, I tried to fit in. And by wanting to fit in, I fall out. I feel left out. And that's when the bitterness comes up. Only by trying to fit in. And this is a big insight for me. Because this is it. I'm not here to fit in. And when I try my best too hard, then I'm especially not seen. And it took me back to other moments. Like, I never really was part of a group. I never felt really part of a group. It's interesting. It's so interesting for me to really be now more aware of this, that I always felt that even though if people were nice to me and we were with a group, even though I was with a group, in a group, doing activities in a group, I still didn't feel part of it. Isn't that interesting? And I remember that when I was one-on-one with people, I had some friends, and when I was playing with them, having playtime with them one-on-one, I had a good time. But as soon as more people came with it, I or didn't like it, or I took a step back, or I tried too hard to fit in. Yes, or I tried too hard to fit in. And I'm an only child. I don't have brothers and sisters, and I now see how good that must have been for me, because, well, I didn't get conditioned by a brother or sister, but also I had a lot of alone time when I was younger. So playing by myself, having a lot of fantasy, creativity, yeah, I remember that from my childhood. And it is true that I'm not here to fit in, because this is what my only defined channel says, the 3955. It's from the individual circuitry. It is the pure individual. It's the only definition in the channel that I have. And it connects the root to the solar plexus, my only two defined centers. So I am really here not to fit in. And every time I try to fit in, every time I end up bitter. And this is true, because I tried to fit in when I started Concept Sunshine with branding business, and tried to fit in with all the other entrepreneurs. I tried it with my travel account together with Nick, where we actually, tried to fit in the travel couple bubble. It's actually a horrible place. And it's the same what I think with all the business entrepreneur bubble, the coaching industry that's on Instagram. Every time I try to fit in, I actually feel a lot of resistance. I get bitter because I cannot fit in. Even if I try, try my best too hard, it's just not for me. It feels forced. So forced. And there was something else that came up, because 2 days ago, I ended up in, again, the rabbit hole of the coaching industry on Instagram and other travel people. And there were these women, and I get a really bitter feeling around them. And it has nothing really to do with them, because they do just what they do. I don't even know them. It's interesting, this. I don't even know them, but I get a bitter feeling around them. And now I was trying to think why. Maybe it's also because I sometimes still feel I want to fit in. I want to be part of a group. But this is really an instinct that we have as human beings. I had this before. If I'm really honest, I did coachings. I buy stuff from people, all to be seen, to maybe be part of that group. It's funny. I was never meant to. Always I am meant to be myself, my individual self. And I can remember also when I was at, secondary school. I don't always know how you call the schools in English, but it's the school where you like from your 12 years old until, let's say, 16, 17 years old. Also there were a lot of girls, and we had a nice group as girls, but I never really was part of it. And they knew me for that. And that's actually what I like more, to be seen as someone who just comes, and when she is there, it's fun and it's nice, but I'm not really part of the core, you know? And yeah, maybe that's it. If people see me like that, when she's there, it's fun, and if she's not, that's just how she is, you know? That vibe, that's actually the vibe that really suits me so much better. And yeah, when I look back at that period, you had the group of girls, and I always had the best click with one. And that it differed from periods. So it could be the one year I had one, and then the other year the other one. But then, yeah, and this is how the projector aura works, right? We can only focus really on one, and when someone else comes in, I'm already confused because I don't know where to put my attention. Like, yeah, this is it. So, yeah, this is so interesting for me. I never really felt part of any group. And it's difficult because you see all the other people being part of groups, and you try so hard. And every time I try too hard, it made me bitter. And it's my big reminder now also with expressing myself, being online. I really need to focus on me and what I want to say and how I want to lead. Because that's it. If I'm not part of a group, I'm leading. I'm leading one. I don't know which one. I don't know, because I'll never be really part of one, but I'll lead one. And I'll lead the one of the people that feel like this too. Feel like an alien sometimes, especially as projectors, right? Maybe we're supposed to just not be part of that group, also to observe better. Maybe. I'm not sure about that, because I can only speak from my own experience as a pure individual. But yeah, this is really something that came through for me this morning. It's beautiful, very, very beautiful, and I really wanted to share this with you. So thank you for listening, and I'm wishing you a beautiful, beautiful day. Much love.